Hey guys, I'm going to try to make this video again. It keeps cutting off on me, so I'm going to try to make it short. Basically, I had sort of an issue at my NAMI group, and basically it ended up that there was a situation that was, a topic that was brought up, and it was something that was triggering for me in a way. It had something to do with me, like indirectly, but what the person was talking about wasn't directly about me, but it was similar. You know, it had to do with me, sort of. I'm sorry, there's like a pan there and my hair's like touching it. Anyway, so basically, for the first time, I actually expressed an emotion, which was anger. And there was somebody there who was also a facilitator, not of this group, but of another group, who was a facilitator and also a peer. Which just means this person deals with mental health issues as well. And I expressed my emotion, which was anger. And the person didn't really like that I was expressing my emotion, I guess, which I tend to keep my emotions to myself. And, you know, the whole time the person was stepping on my toes, cutting me off, just like being very difficult and challenging towards me the whole entire time. And when I finally had expressed an emotion, I wasn't hurting anyone. I was talking, but I was talking more angrily than I am now. And this person was like, in the middle of my sentence, well, you know what, I think we're going to wrap up now because this really isn't going well. And I'm like, I don't exactly remember what I said. I just remember feeling very angry about that. And I remember thinking that it's not okay. Like, when she said that, all I heard was that I was having an emotion. I was experiencing an emotion, and I was actually expressing it, and it wasn't okay because she didn't like it. Whether that's what this person meant or not, that's how it felt and how I took it, I guess. So I got upset, and I was always taught, if you have nothing nice to say, then don't say anything at all. So instead of just saying, I guess, like reacting and just sort of like attacking this person, which sometimes is what I've done in the past, I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to be disrespectful, so I said, oh, okay, I get it. I actually express an emotion for the first time in my life at this place, and it's not okay. So I'm leaving now. And I got up and I started to walk out, and the facilitator who was running the group actually came out after me. And, you know, because he didn't want me to drive home upset, and we talked a little bit, and I actually cried. And then after, like, everyone left, excuse me, after everyone left, I actually went back in because I had been crying more, and I needed tissues, and I didn't have any in my car. So I went back in, and he was still there, and we talked a little bit, and I said, you know, I said it's interesting because last week's meeting, this person was there, and I had mentioned about, in my experience, whenever I have experienced my emotions, whatever they are, especially anger, mostly it's anger. If I express anger, people are like, okay, they either dismiss me or they say, well, you need to not be so angry so we can deal with it. And I'm like, why can't I ever just express being angry? Nobody likes it when I actually express that emotion. Any emotion, really, that isn't like, I'm all happy and bubbly. And I said, I don't understand that. I said, shouldn't I be allowed to express anger or my emotions in general without people telling me not to? And I said, that's been my experience. And this person was the first one to say, oh yeah, I know. No, you should be able to. And like went on and on about how I should be able to express my emotions and people shouldn't, make me feel bad about it. And then this week I actually experience and express an emotion, and she cuts me off in mid-sentence and basically I felt like she was telling me to shut up, like, I don't care to hear about your emotion. You're angry and I don't care to hear about it. Like, that's how I felt. I really did. And the facilitator of the group and I had been talking. Everyone had left by this point, and we stayed and talked for a while about stuff. And I said, I just don't understand. I said, have you ever seen me here being in a bad mood? And he's like, no. I said, that's the first time I've actually had an emotion like that, And he said, well, you know what you were saying and how you handled that whole situation was appropriate. He said that how she handled me wasn't appropriate, because for one, he said she was cutting you off all night long and stepping on your toes. He didn't use those words, but those are the words I'm using. And that she was being very challenging and difficult to you, specifically you, through the entire meeting. And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of how I felt, I'm like, it's like every time I said something, it's like it was almost like she was kind of trying to taunt me or something. Like, well, or I would say something and basically she'd say, well, no, what you're saying, it's almost like she would have rather have said, don't listen to anything she says, just listen to me, I know everything, and don't listen to her, she doesn't know what she's talking about. That's how I felt. That's what I felt like she wanted to say all night long. And she just, I don't know. I don't really know. So I've had yet another experience of expressing an emotion, and it wasn't okay with somebody. Like, she proved my point that I had expressed last week. So... But thank goodness that this person doesn't usually come to these meetings. They are a facilitator at another meeting, and they were just coming because they were trying to meet up with the facilitator that was there tonight to get information or something like that, and they kept missing each other, so, But even if this person is there, I'm still going to go, because I know that from the past, a lot of the people that I have talk to in that meeting, they when I tell them something, especially this one lady, she really gets what I'm saying. She's like, you know what, you're very insightful and this and that and everything else. So I know that when I talk, I'm not just spewing words that don't make any sense. I know that, maybe not everything I say is accurate or whatever, but a lot of times I'm just going on personal experience. So I just pass that personal experience and knowledge on. And that's, and that's how I kind of roll there. It's kind of how I roll here too. So yeah, I just need to get that off my chest, I guess, a little bit more, even though I talked to that guy for like an hour after everyone had left. So yeah. And right now I just feel very uncomfortable and anxious and just very, I don't know how I feel. But I feel like I can't express that emotion because somebody will say, nope, you can't do that. It's affecting me, so please don't do that. Let's just stop now, I don't know. I guess that's just my experience with it. Like I said, I just want to get it off my chest. Alright, well, I'm gonna go before my camera decides it wants to stop again. Because that's what it keeps doing. I keep trying to make a video, and then, like, right at the end when I'm gonna say, okay, well, I'm gonna go now, it, like, stops. I'm like, ugh, I hate it when cameras just cut off, and you want to say, okay, well, I'll talk to you later, or whatever. Alright, well, I'm seriously gonna go now. Thanks for listening to me vent. Okay, I'm seriously gonna go. Bye, guys.